The day we went to go to the mall, we couldn't get them.
I have to upload it, they said to wait till tomorrow.
Yeah.
That was very bad.
With
Oh, you
that.
went?
Yeah.
Oh, we got
could never get there.
What?
Oh, just comes to the meeting. This is strictly because there was nothing to do with it. People were bored and they're coming down.
So we got Zuniga.
No.
And then we got Joey.
Joey Richter?
And it just says Joey.
Yeah, that's Joey Richter. That's Joey.
That's just the agenda of the meeting.
That's good.
Nothing. Yeah.
When we do the roll call, we'll,
It came
make sure.
Yeah.
It was on the email, I thought I figured it out. But I'll tell you, the budget is very nicely done.
Oh, yeah, Joey.
Perfect.
Joey signed on twice.
Sure. Tell them that it counts once only.
You know, it's the funniest thing, my nails grow like claws. My toenails are all here. I mean, they just, so it's, when I call up and they have to sit, I say, I only want my nails, and wait another week. And he'll say, well, we just changed.
And Paul.
But this.
I mean, Paul, Raul.
We're just.
Raul's there.
No.
Really?
Yeah.
And Raul.
Hello, anybody hear me?
Yeah.
But,
Raul,
Maybe, no, but Tony is coming in on this coming, Tommy, I mean, so.
That's the brother.
Rosale, how are you?
He's a nice guy.
The brother.
Hello.
Yep, you got the brother? That's the, yeah.
hi Raul,
Hey, how are you?
good, how are you?
Perfect. No complaints.
Hey, Raul, Joe.
Hi, how you doing,
Hola.
Juan?
Hey.
Good evening. How
Hi
you
Juan,
doing?
how are you?
How's
Good,
the
good. How you
weather?
doing?
What are you gonna do?
The weather is.
Beautiful where I am.
Let's go. Oh, where are you? Where are you, Juan?
I'm up in
Jerusalem.
Daytona Beach.
Oh, beautiful. I'm in the airport to the way to Madrid.
Yeah, second time I have.
I hear it's a little wet.
Yeah, I'm in the airport. I'm on the road to go to Madrid
Oh, you are?
for a wedding. For a week.
Oh, wow, okay, Mazel tov.
Great.
Beautiful, yeah. Only 1 week.
Very nice, very nice.
Rosale, when you come back?
The end of July, God willing.
Wow. Big vacations.
We're doing district.
Durham, no, you like Durham. You say Durham, it's Raul.
Yeah.
We have.
Woody, are we ready to go or no?
Daniel, I gotta say, there's no black. Yeah, and Manuel, yeah.
I don't have a form yet, so I can't do anything.
It's a very nice building.
Woody,
Finally.
are you ready? Woody, are you ready? Because we have
No, we're
just
not
four.
ready, we're missing a couple people, Raul.
But how, for the derm, how many we are?
Oh, no, she knows. She knows. We go to the same nail salon.
Woody, for the DRM, we are ready.
You know what? Vivian, you know Vivian Pico? My good friend, if you saw her, she goes, my good friend, the Lord, she goes there. My other good friend.
Manuel's here.
she goes. How are you? Everybody I know.
Hola, Estrella, ya tenemos quórum, ¿por qué no empezamos?
No, todavía no.
¿Por qué? ¿Qué falta?
Elizabeth.
¿Quién está en el derm? Yo sale.
Yeah,
So we are. Danny, where is Danny?
Está fuera.
¿Ah?
Está fuera.
Pero llámalo para empezar, ya somos 4.
Vamos a comenzar con Durham primero.
Por eso, dale pues.
Let me call Elizabeth. Okay. Elizabeth's on her way.
That's okay, we technically.
Sí, ya empezó.
Danny Manuel and Raul from Durham.
Danny Manuel, oh, yeah.
Are we are ready?
Who's on the back? Louise. Oh, you wanna take mine? Up there, and then.
This is condominium.
Oh, no, wait. Wait, no, president.
Vice President, no, President of the,
For adjourn,
for Durham.
yes.
I call it, meeting to order.
So we are ready for the
That, okay, we're doing road meeting first. Yeah. The president is.
Roll.
Roll
call.
call. Okay.
It doesn't matter.
Roll.
Doesn't matter.
Yes.
Roll.
Not Alice. Alice invited.
¿Aló?
Raúl, ¿me oyes?
Sí, claro.
Luis, ¿cómo estás? Luis.
Bien, ¿y tú?
Muy bien, gracias. Vamos a empezar.
Vamos a empezar, sí, porfa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Christine Santiago. I'm an attorney at the law firm of State Creek Rivera. We're here this evening for the budget meeting of Delvista Road Maintenance Company. We're going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. It is 6:04 p.m. We first have to establish a quorum of the directors. We'll go ahead and start with a quorum of the directors of those present on Zoom. Board members, please announce your presence.
Only for Durham, please.
This is only for them, yes.
Yes, your names, please, everybody.
Raúl Cohen, as president.
No, Daniel Epstein. Okay, these are the three for Durham so far.
Okay, we do have 3 of the 5 members present,
Right.
so we do have a quorum of the board and we will proceed with the budget meeting. Proof of notice of the meeting was provided in accordance with Florida statute and the association's governing documents. The only item on the agenda is consideration and vote on adoption of the budget with full reserves. Do I have a motion to adopt the proposed budget for the fiscal year commencing on July 1st, 2024 with full reserves?
I adopt the motion for the full reserves. For
Okay.
For what? For food reserve?
Yes, it's full reserve.
For Durham, yeah.
Durham.
Durham. Okay, I'm seconded.
Second.
I'm in favor. I'm in favor.
Thank you, Raul. All in favor,
All in favor?
please say aye.
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 Okay. The
All in
three-
favor, yes.
3 approved, it was unanimously approved. It is 6:05. Can I get a motion to adjourn this meeting?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Yes, I can make the motion if you want.
I second.
Okay, motion by Raul, second. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Yes, aye.
Thank you very much. This meeting has concluded. It is 6:06 p.m. The next meeting will start at 15. Okay, it's about. Okay, thank you.
Hello. We continue with,
No, at 6:15 is the next one.
en el mismo Zoom, Estrella.
¿Qué?
Okay, sí. 6:15. ¿Me salgo o me quedo aquí? Me quedo de una vez,
No,
¿no?
tiene que quedarte.
Me quedo, no, yo sé. Perfecto, me quedo aquí, no problem. El primero terminó. Mariano, ¿tú me oyes?
Sí,
Dile,
está hablando con Dani.
ok, dile a Mariano, dile a Dani que le diga a Mariano lo que me dijo a mí de los 4 años.
No, from day one, like you said.
4 years.
4 years.
People instead of paying 350.
I think. It's going down. I'm very sure. The same way, it's 6-1. How much is 6?
Let's do it immediately.
No, yeah.
You want to know the payment of each individual. Cents for the payments.
You have it on the, yeah.
I think it's close to 14. So.
I go. So I think it's better. You know, the way, if you are doing it, it's $1,000 a pop. I'm telling you, the way we work before, they didn't even fall $100,000. I knew, you say you don't want to do. This, I don't even take with the focus.
Not for top. The next.
Excuse me, is anybody there? Say Juan, can anybody hear me?
No,
Raul or Juan,
Now,
Yeah.
she's gonna start.
is there, what's going on right now?
Oh, we need to wait 5 more minutes. The
Okay,
next meeting, the meeting is in 5 minutes.
okay, great.
Yeah.
All
The
right, thank
first
you.
one, the first one was for the derm, now it's now with this one.
Okay, great, thank you.
Okay.
Right now, the way it's $1,097,000. They impact instead of you paying more.
Yeah,
De verdad que si no lo usas, de verdad, no
I'm
lo
not
usas.
afraid to raise the rates. I'm gonna lose my apartment. I'm gonna go. Sit the way. I got to look over. This is fair, and I'm just, I'm going to the kid. With, like you said.
And I feel that.
When you are not, you are like, you know what, that is not. All right, 37.2
Si la casa no está
of the residential
elevado
building
a
A
13
sector
pies
in full.
encima de lo
I
que
I get it, you are.
requiere
Now,
para
shut up.
Eso me lo.
Hey, Tom, you bring up the lesson.
He's going to be a good friend, but you get a pain in the ass. Part of my guy, I was an English major.
Echando una vuelta en serio.
Very well.
But, well, I taught high school, come on.
En una callecita,
No, and I said, no, I'm sorry, I can't believe that is
el
not-
agua llegó a la parte.
But I was just thinking.
Para el chiquito, pues, y la otra vez se sacaba, la atacaba por dentro.
I did, I started elementary, couldn't stand it.
What they did.
Pues ahí se acabó el carro.
I did supervise. Yeah. Yes, I love it. I love it. Jake, good friend. What?
Bueno, yo acabo de traer una.
1 minute.
Based on 100%.
Funny. He just complains.
One minute.
You're getting. Just around the. Okay, so I understand, I want to ask all I'm asking you is how much interest you pay the total, what should you? I said, how much is they?
It's 6:15, you wanna start? Yep. All right, we're ready. Oh. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Go ahead and-
We are ready.
Yep, we're ready. We're gonna go ahead and get started.
Okay.
Combined special meeting of the board of directors and the association members in conjunction with the budget meeting for Delvista Towers. So let's go ahead and call the meeting to order. It is 6:15 PM. Let's go ahead and call a roll call of the board.
Daniel Epstein.
Manuel Poligola.
Raúl Cohen,
Paul Furman. Mariano Mago.
Yeah, Joey Richter,
Juan.
Juan,
Perfect. All board
Juan, di tu nombre, Juan.
Zuniga, director.
Okay. All
Juan
directors,
Zuniga, director.
Director.
we got it. Thank you. Okay, we received a.
continues.
Ready?
Have you watched your meeting?
You had the floor. We received 234 proxies from the membership. To have a quorum of the membership, we need 145 people present in person or by proxy, so we do the threshold and we do have a quorum. Proof of notice of the meeting was obtained in accordance with Florida statute and the governing documents. The first item on the agenda is a vote by the members on partially waiving statutory budget reserves for the fiscal year commencing on July 1st, 2024, in order to partially waive statutory budget, we needed a total of majority of the total voting interest. So that's 433 units. The majority of 433 units would be 218 members had to approve the waiving of the budget. We received a total of 234 proxies, 229 were in favor. So congratulations, you have partially waived your reserves this year. Next item on the agenda is a consideration and vote on adoption of the budget by the board of directors. Do I have a motion by the board of directors for approval of the budget commencing on July 1st, 2024, with a partial waiver of the statutory budget reserves?
Do you have any commentary or
I need,
questions?
hold on, I need a motion first, before we can
To
have,
approve it, we are going to discuss it first.
you have to have a motion in a second, and then discussion happens, so I need a motion first,
I make a motion to approve it.
thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, okay, now you can have a discussion.
Okay, so a few remarks for everybody. We are decreasing slightly the monthly payments. The major drivers for the change are the following. In the chapter of G&A administration, we had last year 3 significant items that we are not going to have this year. We had a line for $40,000 for kicking off the 40-year certification. It's not repeating this year. The structural integrity reserve study for $40,000 as well. We are not going to have it this year. Even if we didn't do it, we already charged for that. We have the funds. We don't need to charge it again. And also we have $95,000 for recapturing the increase of insurance that we had last year that we were not able to cover. So we are not going to have that year. So that is $1,073,000 less. That's the first one. The second is insurance. We did pretty much the same as last year. We went to the market. We had this year, I think, the best renewal or the process that we did so far. We had Willis and Brown & Brown, 2 big brokers. After we get the proposal from Brown & Brown, we went to Willis. We asked for a 15% reduction. We can get to there. They were not able to. So we are in a good place, and we believe this is a good amount. We were able to save $100,000 from last year. In salaries and wages, we are increasing 7% to go for inflation. Last year, there was some increases in salaries that we didn't give, and we want to be okay in this line. The workers we have, we were under pressure. Some of them left us last year and prior years. We need to have a correct amount for retaining the people we need to retain. In utilities, we believe that we are going to be a little bit below $16,000 less. And then we have contracts. Here we have an increase of $45,000. That increase, the majority it's in security, janitorial, and valet contract. In all of those cases, we have contractual agreed increases. In the case of security, we increase them whenever there is an increase in minimum wage, and also a 3% year-over-year. Valet contract that we didn't increase for a long time, increased this year, and we expect that to happen next year as well. And same with janitorial. The increase in this line is $45,000. And lately, For repairs and maintenance, we are increasing this chapter 29%. What the manager did in this case in particular is he worked with the new former engineer that left us a couple of weeks ago, gathering the projects that we need to execute during this year to be, good with our equipment. And they put this in the form of numbers, and that's how we get to the budget. There's two lines that are the ones increasing the most, which is AC, HVAC, and plumbing. HVAC, we had a couple of compressors down currently, and we need to be able to repair them. And plumbing, the last year, we had several drainage piping broken, some in the common areas and some for the apartments. And we were greatly over budget on this. No wonder it's 40-year-old piping. So we are increasing the line for that in particular. And finally, the increase for reserves that we did last year from 375,000 to 620,000, we are keeping the same amount, 620. And from there, we get to the pretty much the same payment, less a few bucks. Any questions in particular? Mark?
Can I ask a question to someone?
Yes, sure.
Okay, I'm looking at owner's representative.
We are discussing the budget. We are discussing the budget for the operational budget, so not the special assessment. It's not for discussion today.
This is not today, Jocelyn. Today
Yeah,
is
I'm trying to find the red. Okay, no problem. Okay,
Okay, yeah, just two things, and I think I may know the answer, but I just want to clarify. The shutter maintenance, I see went down from 10,000 to 1. Now, is that maintenance that comes along when they're cleaning the windows?
Yes.
Okay, can you explain what
Yes.
is occurring there?
There's two things in it. First, what we've been doing for a long time, it's really money thrown. We are basically the guy cleaning the windows, and sometimes if he remembers, he puts some WD-40 on the rails, up and down.
Only in the windows, not in the shadows, not in
In the
the.
shadows, but only the shadows.
Only in the shadows on the window,
On
not
the
on
wall.
the slider. The one that require Boston chair or scalpel, that's the only one.
Right.
So
And
that costed us $9,000 last year.
it costs more than to clean the window, doesn't make sense to me, you know.
And not always they actually do it. So that we were doing doesn't work. Plus, we are going to have people in every line for the 40 years. That's a better way to do it. That's the reason.
Well, okay, let me just address your comments, and I can tell you that this year I paid particular attention to it. Okay, so, I mean, I'm in the middle of the building, so I could see the other building in my own. So I was really concerned about the same thing, that they weren't really retaining the shutters, but I can tell you from what I had seen, from the ones that I had watched over a couple of days, they did every shutter, or else I would have pointed it out because I was sort of expecting them not to, I do my own. I take.
How are you reaching from the window to the bottom?
Well, the boatman's shirt, okay, those are the ones.
Yeah, the clear view, what they come to clean.
Yeah.
Once or twice a year,
Right,
they coming and do it,
Right.
I saw they did my window, I'm not here,
Right.
but,
I did mine as well, but
well, I'm just saying that my comment regarding that is that they have done it, at least, from what I can see, of course, I can't see the entire building, but just my comment from what I can see. And I have both sides, right, I have two balconies. So that one I can comment on. The only problem with that is, since we, as an association, install them all, if we don't maintain them to some degree, and we leave it up to owners to do it, and I know that we have a 4-year certification, I'll get to that in a second. But if the owners don't do it, and they don't, because I see people that just haven't moved them in years. They're half open, half closed, whatever. And it's a concern because when we have a hurricane, of course, if that one unit doesn't operate, then that, not only is that in jeopardy, but at the same time, the abutting units are in jeopardy, because what happens is when a window breaks, the apartment balloons, when that balloons, we don't have drywall that can clean. And believe me, I've been doing this 40 years, and I have managed many high-rise buildings over the 40 years during hurricanes or after hurricanes, where I've had to rebuild, start from scratch in many cases, and I can show you pictures of apartments that blew into other apartments because of that. So it's just a concern, I'm just thinking and wondering out loud whether or not it's really worth the $9,000 savings. That's number one. Okay.
Yes, the answer is, whatever they were doing, it's not going to save us for that reason that you are mentioning. It's just putting WD-40 and not even trying to move the shutters.
No, they did.
In my case, no.
They did.
In my case, let me tell you this. In my case, I checked after they passed. They didn't even put WD-40. So I need to come back to AD at the moment and say, hey, try them again. And they need to do it again. And they just put WD-40 and out. So I don't believe that type of work.
Well, I have
Then
video,
something
I took
else.
video, so I can show you. I took video. I videoed.
So you're lucky. I was not.
No, I'm not saying my fault. I'm saying what I could see on the other lines, what they were doing.
I don't disagree with you.
Yeah.
I think the way we were doing it so far is wasting money. That's my point, my only point. I don't disagree that we need shutters at work. But what we were doing for years is worthless.
We're trying
And-
something
and-
new this year.
Moreover, just to finish, moreover, we do it in January and we wait 6 months until that to dry completely to use them again.
Time
in
is
June.
wrong when we did it. I agree with you, the time is wrong. We should do it, if they call hurricane season in June or May, we should do it in May, but the time we pick, the cleaning is for the holiday and everything, the time is wrong. And another thing, I met one time with the guy. If the shutter doesn't move, he's not going to stay there 2 hours to start to fix him and everything. He's going away, you know what I'm saying, so. It'll make a difference if you open it or not, you know?
Well, I understand that, you know, we don't expect him to fix it, that's not part of their job. But he can notify somebody, that's all they have to do.
The right
And
way,
address.
I agree with you, the right way is to do it, to let people or the maintenance people to come at least twice a year to the unit, just for the window to open and close them. That's all you have to do.
So far, they
So they don't
didn't
get
notice that of
control,
any
you know?
malfunction, but you were going to say something.
Yes.
Can I say something?
I think like, what I.
He was going to talk just before you start.
But the plan to do the exact same thing, but in a different way. We're not canceling the lubrication, we're choosing a different path of lubrication. That even saves us $9,000. So the lubrication is going to happen, just not the usual way, we're trying a different way.
Well, can that be explained as to what that difference is?
What's the difference? I'm in this industry, okay? To me, that's my opinion, I'm not talking behalf of them. To me, to put on those shutter, WD-40, it's wrong. Because it's collecting dust
Well,
and,
silicone is
yeah,
you-
you have to put like dry silicone, like what you put in the thing. That's my opinion, but I didn't create it or everything.
So the point is not removing the maintenance, it's what we were doing, we shouldn't be doing it any longer.
Excuse me,
Before you go, Carl, you were going to say something after Mark?
No, not on this question.
Okay.
yeah, I think if I understood correctly, what Mark is saying is that what he's mentioning is that has a high priority in the sense that we as a team, as a group, as a family, if we don't maintain the shuttles in good condition with the oil and everything, and maybe an old lady or an old man cannot do it, or they don't put much attention to that.
That's exactly.
That can, hold on, that can blow up, and then that consequently is gonna blow up some other apartments, and we are gonna be in a deep trouble.
That's
I don't
exactly
believe no
what-
one is agreeing on that.
That's exactly what I say, and in the past, if there people need help in the hurricane time, we send people to close to help the people.
But
to
maybe we have to schedule that for everyone, because that's a valid point, because if the hurricane hits and one apartment is not closed properly,
That's
and
management
and then,
application to close, because I remember last hurricane when we have the shutter on, people complain, we changed the windows, why we need to close, they say, everybody, well, you don't have, you have to close it, people didn't want to close, because they say they have,
Light.
they have
well,
impact window, you know what I'm saying?
no, I understand, but I think that's a valid point, because if one unit doesn't comply, we are in deep trouble in the whole floor where that happened.
One unit.
And why one unit that didn't comply, the rest has to pay for their.
But that's the obligation of management company. If some unit didn't comply, you can to open the unit or call the police or call the fire department, they make you
Okay,
close
You know,
the.
anyway, from.
excuse me. Okay, hi. I've been in building many, many years, and during any hurricane that we have had over the years, management and the building, they take care of making sure all shutters are closed, every apartment is checked. There are people that volunteer within the building to help others, and there's a list downstairs of people that you need help. The announcements go out over and over. That's number one. Number two, we're here to vote on the budget.
No, it's.
No, it's not even only on the budget,
It's the line.
it's the main
Up
thing,
to the description.
this is the main thing, this is. so-
Yeah, but the situation today is that on January, they might or might not have done it. We are in June now. Do you believe that the WD-40 that they put in January is good now? After this rain, after all this time? So, okay, so do you agree that we blow away $10,000?
Well, it's a matter of.
That's the way to do it?
Yeah, but with Marianne, we're losing the context here. Okay, now what you're referring to is the time of year that the service will be provided versus the fact that it's provided at all. Now, you know, I'm not saying you're all right now. Okay, my concern is, and Danny, I mean, you got a point, Louise, you got a point. But the problem is, the day before a hurricane, when we have maintenance and everybody else, all of a sudden, try to go up and close these things, and if they don't work,
Mhm,
okay,
correct.
then you're stuck because nothing's gonna happen. Nobody's coming to fix it. Nobody's gonna be addressing it. You're not gonna have time, staff's not gonna have time to do anything to try to fix them when they're going through 433 units to ensure that we have a sealed building. And I've been, you know, my concern is, I have partial, because when Wilma hit, my apartment got blown out. I lost furniture, I lost pictures, I had my wall
Your
blown
shutters
in.
were closed.
Okay, I had a lot of damage. Okay, and I won't forget that. I know what that's like because I personally suffered from it, but I have managed to, as you know, okay, you know my history.
Yeah.
So I managed Key Biscayne after Andrew. I can show you pictures of what occurred with or without shutters. Okay, because when the neighbor didn't have a shutter and one did, I can show you what happened. But I'm just saying to you that if it takes revisiting the time of year, the fact that they should be using silicone instead of oil, and any other thing that they may not be doing properly, it could be done, it may not cost as much either, because if you're not gonna do it twice a year, you only do it once a year,
Yeah,
right?
we don't disagree, and the line being there or not, it doesn't, it won't prevent us for doing it. So, Udi, if you take note of, you know, investigating or checking with the new engineer, how we can do that ahead of the hurricane season.
We definitely bring it up to him.
My opinion,
Problem solved.
all the shutters, to me, absolutely, they did their job already.
The point is, the point is very clear. Nobody says that what you are saying, it's not important at all, completely, 100%, everybody, I agree, I don't know, everybody. I agree with that, but just what we were doing, it's
Well,
money.
yeah,
from-
that scene, I would agree, that might need to be tweaked and changed.
Yes.
In order to make it.
Which is what we just agreed. You have a question? Other question?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I have one more. I don't want anybody else's time, but just the fitness, I think we have a change, so I'm wondering, are we getting new equipment?
Yeah, we increase it, let me.
Yeah, significant.
Yes, because Uli was pointing out that I'm sorry, I'm not the machine guy, the station, the big station,
Multi-station.
thank you, needs to be replaced. And I believe the increase was for having funds for that.
Okay. Anything else being replaced or?
We hear any recommendations you have
No, I mean, I'm happy.
under the
I
budget.
was just curious as to, what the outlook is.
No, the increase in the line, it's for replacing equipment that needs to be replaced.
Okay.
I am not the one that is going to, have the knowledge of what we need to buy, but you are more than welcome to bring your recommendations.
You're doing it.
Any other question?
Yeah, I have a question. So let me understand correctly. Last year we had a surplus from the budget, correct? Do we have a surplus or a negative?
I think we were right on point.
We're very close to the budget.
The current year, we are with I don't want to use the.
We don't have
we are under budget.
I don't believe.
This year, 130,000.
What?
130,000.
Okay, but what did you say, we're on?
And we are being another
I am reluctant to use, I don't want to use the word profit because it's
You
not the profit.
you can use the word.
Yes, we spend so far less than. we-
137, not including everyone, yes.
Yeah,
Okay, so as of right now, this moment, we're 130,000.
above, yeah.
Under budget.
Yes, under budget.
Yeah.
Okay, so where does that money go now?
Well, it's going to
Where does
be
it go?
operational funds.
For the reserves, I mean, where does it go?
No,
It's under budget.
it's a good point. It's a good point. We've been, the last 2 years with not great in funds, for some of the things that we explained last time. Now that we are hitting almost 500,000 in operational funds, it's a good moment to think if we need to allocate some to reserves. I'm not prepared for that.
Reserve.
That's some of those funds to
Extra
reserve.
money to the reserve, which is a very good idea. We have extra money, it'll make everything cheaper, because next year, we're not gonna sit here and have this vote, are we?
No.
Next year, we don't have this option anymore.
Well,
So that's fine, but my question to incorporate in here is if we have the full reserves and we need it, are they gonna continue to increase that every year? So let's say you're capped out.
No,
at-
there you have
No,
a study, you have to call to a study company and they tell you the lifetime and how much you need per year. We don't make it.
Right, that's what I'm saying, but they could, every year, they could, even at full reserves, they could say this amount, okay, next year, this amount.
Well, let-
No, if they say, I give you example, the roof, okay?
Wait,
Say in 10 years. we
wait
have-
a second, just a second, to make sure that we finish with Carl and then we go to research, which I think
Okay.
is a very important point.
I think it should stay in the operating.
Then.
Regarding
Did
him,
we answer you?
Yeah, I mean.
regarding him, I think we should leave it at least
He made a question, I want to make sure he gets his answers or he can request or whatever.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I just wanted to understand, since we were $130,000 under budgets, where those funds are gonna go? Because.
So far in operational funds, now we are in a good cash position to think about allocating some of that to reserves.
I give you an example, last year, okay? Our budget is from June to July, whatever, you know, it's not like January to January. We was short of money to pay the insurance last year. So we was positive, we can use the money, you know what I'm saying? You know, I don't know what's happening with the insurance. You know, we had like a gap of 4 or 5 months, you know?
I think a good cash position for us in operational funds is to have at least 1 full month of expenses in cash. But over that, we can go in a different way. But go into
If you have
reserves.
that money in the reserves, can't you take it out?
No.
No, not-
Can you take it out?
Only allocated to what is reserved.
I'm
If you have $1
saying-
million for the roof, you only can use it for the roof.
But it just makes sense for everybody in this room. If there is a few extra dollars, and I would think that we would have some kind of way to float it towards there to make everybody's payments going in the
Yes.
future just a little cheaper.
Yeah.
So if that's an option, you know, how do you go about it? How do you vote? How do you determine? You know, yeah, maybe the whole thing doesn't have to go, but there should be some kind of decent amount just to help everybody.
This is the situation right now. The last few years, we were being very careful about expenditures on reserve. And from, I believe, 800,000 in reserves that we had in 2020, now we are sitting at 2.2 million. You saw it in the budget. The calculation for full reserves that we didn't actualize from 2020, it's around 5 million, 4.8. So today, if we were in the next budget season, we will need to cover 2.6 in 1 year. So the strategy we have around that, we cannot, by the way, there's no way to run. We will need to fund that with a loan, with you know, special assessment, or whatever is the case. So what the plan to do that, we are going to include the roof replacing. That is really up for change. The penthouses are having leaks everywhere. So, and we studied the life expectancy for the roof not long ago, and it had a couple of more years. So we are going to include that in the special assessment for the 40 year. That was going to do is going to decrease our level for full reserves, and doing it in that way, whoever wants to pay it in 60 installments, which is what we are planning to offer, or 48 is not decided. It's going to be able to do that. But there's another problem. The 2025 new legislation also adds some other items that were not part of the reserve before, and now it's going to.
We're going to have extra in the reserve because we have in the reserve for painting. We're doing in the 40 painting, so we're going to offset it.
So we are doing things in a way that we believe, or we are trying not to make us pay for the same item twice.
I know you guys are.
So after the 40-year certification, and in the 40-year certification, we will do the reserves study again. Under the new legislation, we are going to know what's our level. We are going to have a new roof and the building paint, and with a 40-year certification down again. So that's going to decrease our level.
With the 40-year certification?
Yes, because they do concrete restoration. After doing that, they need to paint the whole thing.
To your point, and Mariano's, there needs to be a little liquidity within the budget.
Of course.
In case of an emergency, such as a leak. So that things to be fixed and whatnot, so that if they keep extra money within the budget, it's not because it's because they need it.
Right.
In case, also, let's say all the monthly payments don't come in on time, and again, an emergency, they have to have a liquid cash to be able to take care of it.
I think everybody's in agreement here, as long as the funds that are extra are going to be put towards things that are needed, but just to help everybody's pocket, because I'm sure everybody's on the same page with something.
I agree with you, my friend.
I don't think nobody wants to pay more than four.
I know you guys are looking at all options to make sure we're going that right.
We understand like everybody, see what I'm saying?
In the next 3 years or 4 years, we are, I mean, what we should expect is that this is going to take a little bit more money from all of us to cope with the reserves, to cope with the 40-year certification.
And then once we get over that, then we can teeter off and keep it normal, maybe and drop it. It's like market.
I know that, you know, we renew the insurance like mid-year, right? So it's not tied to the budget date by date, start date, ending date. So I think you're concerned about what they're gonna charge next year, right? I think I heard that.
And the gap, what's
The gap, right, and then we don't know what we're gonna be charged, but yet we still have to come up with the first month or,
That's 4 months, we have
for
4
1
months.
month. I mean,
4
yeah,
months
I
gap.
understand that, but initially, there's a large payment to begin with. So what I'm thinking, and it's just a thought, that out of the 130,000, I think it was, that we have a
Surplus.
surplus of, if we took 30 or 40,000 or whatever you might be comfortable with, put it into the budget to offset the anticipated increase for insurance, then you got that covered. And I understand that they have debts, if we don't have an item for that, a line item for that, and certain other things that like Louise brought up. But that gives you that cushion, and you still have money to put into reserves, to offset the reserves too. The other thing is that, you know, pooling reserves is another interesting way to do it in order to comply with the law, to have complied with pool reserves.
Pooling, you said pooling reserves.
Pool reserves.
Pooling, yeah.
Yes. Okay. So when one does that, okay, it's not pooling reserves for the total amount of what it's valued at. It's really about what its value is at the time of useful life and where we are now. And then what happens is all that money that's in that pool for those particular items can be used for any of those items that are in that pool. In the event, for example, it's not like we have 40,000 designated for painting and you got another 500,000 to go. Or if you've got plumbing and you've got another 100,000 in there, but you need more money for that. Any of those items that go that are in the pool, you can use any of those funds for as long as you don't fall below zero. Right? That's the law. Am I right? Okay. So, you know, it's just another way of looking at the, you know, the reserves as a whole. I understand that. I think we pooled some of those reserves over the years, because it goes back to when I was on the board. But then we also have the 3 statutory reserves that are independent of and the line item. And I don't think they were ever included in the pool. I'm just saying, there's just another way. You may not be able to do it this year, but for the thought of next year and the year after and the year after.
After we finish the 4th year, you can have
Well,
like
yeah,
a
but what I'm getting at, starting next year, the requirement is written in stone, right? At the 100% level, full reserves, but people have in their mind the wrong concept of what it really.
I believe it below the, after the 4th year, I think.
Yeah, but I don't know if you're understanding what
I
I'm saying.
understand what you're saying.
Okay, but if you consider pooling for next year, okay, you can then meet the law
On a lower level.
at a lower level. You don't have to assess, you have to pick a year.
You have to do
As much as
study.
if you might believe that you have to have it for every single item and the end result of that particular item. You don't need to do that.
I think we look at the reserves as if they were a pool. But I know we need to do some kind of steps in order to actually do it, which not sure if we need to do a vote or.
It's generally a membership vote. I don't
General
know
membership.
if you guys are doing straight polling or if it is. Okay.
So we need to do a membership vote. And it's 2/3 or just
You have to
majority?
Your docs to see what you're,
2/3.
okay. 2/3.
That's a.
We have a good program, that's what I meant, we have a positive problem than negative problem, you know? So you have to look at it way too.
Yeah, but next year, if you don't, think ahead.
My opinion cannot hit you up because we've been in the process of 40 years and we can approve, we're doing it. We told them, I talked to people, I asked, that's what they told me.
Yeah, I understand, right? But the 40-year encompasses certain items, it doesn't encompass everything in a building over $10,000.
I understand, but if you say, let's say the elevator, like you say, it's not in the 40 years, we have a part of the reserve over there, you know? I'm not using it, so I think with the offset, what we're doing and with what we are not doing, we're not being the $5 million what we are in today.
But it's
That's
a
my opinion.
complementary thing, no? What he's saying is, if you pull them, that in any situation, the total amount for reserves is going to go down because you can use the money for any item.
Right, if you wanted, for example, you had problems with the elevator, it's time to modernize. Right, and it was became sort of a requirement that you could do it piecemeal or you could do it whole. Since you already have a problem with this, you can do it whole, because if you have enough money in the pool, you can do it. Simple, right? And then you reevaluate the next year after that, as far as useful life, how much money is needed for each item, and then you pool again. For any of those items, hopefully, you know, with the thought that when you do these things, you take those particular items, as of today, you already got useful life, you know what it is, you know what you should have left, because it's X amount of years past that useful life, so you could be year 5 now out of 10, or year 3 out of 10, and whatever that value has now become in year 3, is the only thing you gotta worry about. That's all you gotta worry about. That gives you the ability to create those reserves that are pools that meet that 100% threshold.
And the reserve study gives you both amounts. You want it itemized or pooled, and if
Well, they give it a pool because, you know.
Yeah.
When you do a reserve study, okay, the reserve study, yes, it would be as opposed to the other study, I forgot what they call that. In 3 years ago, I'm doing it.
structural integrity.
Well, no, not structural integrity. that's
Sears?
another issue. Huh?
The Sears?
No, that's all this stuff. Yeah,
You understand?
the less I think about it, it'll happen. But anyway,
It's a good point. I think we need to take note and.
Listen, the study has to get done every year.
What?
When they estimate the study
Yeah.
for the reserves gets done every year.
It's actually
When they
every 2 years.
When they estimate the useful life.
You're wrong, every
That
2 years,
changes.
the manager said every 2 years, you know what to say.
Okay,
And we're doing it.
they do it every 2 years.
And
And
we
when they
do.
look at the roof, they say, last time, 2 years ago, we said the roof only had 3 years left. Today, we say, 2 years have gone by, but we can get another 5 years out of it.
Yeah, but the problem with that is that the amount for replacement, it's going to be actual.
Absolutely, that has to go every time it gets done, the reducing amount, construction costs change.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
You buy yesterday, you cannot buy tomorrow, it's only up.
Listen, price of a Big Mac is double now, trust me, I know.
If we don't fix it this year, then
We
the
look
year
at
is going to
special.
cost us more money.
So am I.
Okay, so there's no further questions and
One
no
more quick
further
question.
discussion.
Why don't we vote on the budget anymore?
Report.
Okay,
No, no, no.
well, I remember when we used to vote on line items. Louise, you remember that time we used to have a sign out front and we
So I
decided.
was just simply discussing,
No, you want to be so active,
it's exactly
And I
the
like
same way.
but come to this side, not from this side, you know what I'm saying? To prepare this, it's hours and days. You always have to say, come to this side, they give you money.
Okay.
Do it and let's take the risk, you know?
So waiting on a question before we go to vote.
No, doesn't matter, I'm job, I don't get money from you.
Yeah, but it's working.
I didn't tell you, I told him, he's nothing, he's no complaint. I didn't ask you, I told him, not me.
Okay, I got to vote. Any other question?
There's no further items, okay, go ahead and take a vote of the board, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
4. Raul,
Don't get upset, I told him, not to everybody, to him especially, because.
Yes, yes, I'm in favor.
Juan. Raul,
He said.
Yes, I'm in favor, yes.
okay. Who else? Joey, that's it, I got all of them?
Yep.
Okay, unanimous,
See, when I got complained, when I had complained to the other board, I walk, and since we didn't make it, I came to this side.
okay. Can I get a motion to adjourn, please?
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you. Can I get a second?
I'm in favor.
Who's your second?
I second.
In favor.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Adios.
Aye.
Aye.
6:56, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much.
I don't.
Okay.